coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
I, Barbara Buffalo,
Do
solemnly swear that I possess all qualifications for the office of mayor.
There is a new mayor in Columbia. Tonight, Barbara Buffalo was sworn in as the new mayor of Columbia. That means Columbia City Council is now made up of a majority of female members for the first time ever. Good evening to you. I'm Noah Klein.
And I'm Melise Payne. Thanks for joining us tonight. Before she was sworn in, I sat down with Barbara Buffalo. We talked about her hopes for the city's future and where she thinks things can improve, including trash collection. What do you hope people know about you?
Well, I hope that they know that I'm always going to be authentically me. They know that they can bring their issues or concerns to me. And they know they can bring their joys and their celebrations.
Trash and recycling issue
right?
obviously dominated the campaign. It was a big question that probably came up repeatedly. So for folks that might not know, what solution do you hope to bring to the table for that issue?
Yeah, so I hope we are bringing a solution that is thinking of the people that are doing the collection first, right? And I know at the May 2nd pre-council for City Council, Solid Waste will be coming back to council saying, here are some options for how we can build a better system. And it's gonna have, I imagine the spectrum of options we'll have. So for me, I think thinking about what's gonna make it safer for the employees.
Is there any specific solution you are hoping that's brought to the table by city staff when it comes to trash?
So I think, when you look at other communities, they do often have a hybrid approach, right? Because you have to understand that every neighborhood might be different. And so figuring out what works best for our neighbors and asking the employees what they think will work out is what I'm hoping to see.
Is a private company ever been mentioned as an option for
It has been mentioned, yeah. I will say it's not an option that I would like on the table. It's not of an interest to me. And in fact, that's because I think about just the quality that we have, that we can offer as the city government. So it's definitely something that I want to see us keep within Columbia, within our organization.
Do you think that there's some work to be done with the relationship between council and city staff?
I definitely think there's some work that needs to be done, yeah. So, over the last few years, you kind of saw frustration from both council and staff. And what I think about is that we need to have a trust and common respect and just basic civility between everybody, really. And so I think the mayor sets the tone, right? And so I look forward to setting the tone and checking in with our professionals on city staff.
Is there anything you're apprehensive about?
Okay, I will say I'm apprehensive about living up to expectations. A lot of people are very excited about me being elected. And I was like, I hope I can live up to their expectations. I hope that people, we remember that we treat each other as humans and work kindly together. Doesn't mean not hold me accountable, but remember, I'm still just Barb.
For a look at more of my interview with Mayor Buffalo, go to our website, KOMU.com. And happening right now in just the last hour, the Columbia City Council decided to take another look at whether to keep the roll cart issue on the August ballot.
It's a new development here because remember, it was just 2 weeks ago that the council actually decided to let voters decide on the future of trash management in Columbia. But new tonight, the council is going to rediscuss those plans. KOMU 8's Emma Cronin has been at the meeting all night. So Emma, a big development here on a big topic. How did it all happen?
So tonight, Councilperson Matt Pitzer raised the motion and the council decided to pass that in a vote of 4-2. This is just a vote to talk about whether voters or the council should decide the fate of roll carts. This is all possible because anything the council votes down can be reconsidered within 90 days. Pitzer says he wanted to let the new council members have a say in the issue.
I thought before it would have been more appropriate to give them the opportunity to weigh in on it then, so I wanted to give them the opportunity to weigh in on it now.
Also at tonight's meeting, Carl Scala spoke about his fate on the council. The third ward race between Scala and challenger Roy Lovelady ended in a tie during the April 5th election. In the meantime, Scala will remain on the council until the election in August. That'll likely break that tie. Live in Columbia, Emma Cronin, KOMU 8 News.
And as new Mayor Barbara Buffalo was sworn in, Mayor Brian Treese headed out. Treese stepped down after 6 years in office. Treese announced in October that he was not planning to run for re-election. At that time, he mentioned the pressures of the pandemic as a reason for his decision. He was narrowly elected in 2016, but won a strong re-election in 2019.
Also tonight, Columbia City Council did a first read on a plan that would put the Mizzou logo and other signage at the new airport terminal. This would happen with $72,000 in funding from the University of Missouri system. The seats in the terminal will also be required to have an MU theme and for the baggage carousel to continue to play the school's fight song when the belt is in operation, which is something the airport manager says many people enjoy.
A lot of people have liked that, both Mizzou alumni and also visitors coming into our area. So that was something that we'd heard quite a bit about moving into the new terminal. So we did work that out with Mizzou, and we're going to continue that.
The agreement between the university system and the city is for 5 years.
A former CPS employee is suing the district. Our partners at the Columbia Missourian report, Angela Jolly, says she was forced out of her job after she shared concerns and pictures related to the seclusion of students with disabilities. The civil suit states that CPS administration retaliated against her after she told the district she took pictures of wooden locked boxes that students were sent to for timeout. At the end of the 2019-2020 school year, Jolly was told she would not be allowed to return to the building she worked at. Kenton.
Temperatures cooling down nicely tonight. We're already in the 40s here across central Missouri.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Callaway Community Hospital has been shut down since March 25th. In our continuing coverage tonight, hospital officials are hoping they will get nearly $4 million in federal grant money that would be used to help reopen the hospital. Fulton Mayor Lo Cannell has been working with hospital officials during the closure. He says the hospital is doing everything it can to be ready to reopen.
You know, day-to-day operations still don't stop, even though their doors aren't open. There's still things to do inside the building, such as cleaning and maintaining the equipment.
He says if the hospital does not receive the grant money, it will need to look to investors to start back up.
There's 2 more cases of gun violence that Columbia police now need to look into.
Today, we gained access to the probable cause statement for the man at the center of one of these events this weekend.
4.68, I got a large crowd at 10th and Broadway. I'm now being flagged down. Yeah.
That was audio of that incident happening. This shooting happened in the heart of downtown Columbia and happened around 1:45 in the morning Sunday on 9th and Cherry Streets in Columbia. Of course, it's a busy intersection full of bars and restaurants. One man was shot and taken to a hospital. 20-year-old Victor L. Arruga of Jefferson City was arrested for assault and unlawful use of a weapon. He's one of 2 arrested for their involvement in the shooting. 20-year-old Israel Ortiz was also arrested for peace disturbance by fighting. The University of Missouri sent out a message to students and staff warning people to stay away from that area that night. One man saw the events happen himself.
As I saw the group of people, I just tried to walk around them, and then some things escalated. I saw some guys start to push each other, and next thing I know, I hear 2 loud shots, and so I immediately just bolted down this street. Yeah, I was shocked in the moment. I was so close. I'm happy I wasn't hit by any crossfire, and I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
In court today, a hearing set a bond for that suspect later this week. This is one of 2 instances of gun violence that happened over the weekend.
The Columbia Downtown Leadership Council met in late February to lay out their plan for downtown safety in response to crime in the area. Those plans include more lights. The Columbia Police Department added lights like this one, hoping the bright lights will help deter crime. The district is still waiting on the city to install more permanent street lights. Those lights will look just like normal street lamps. One employee of a business around the area where that shooting happened said it will be helpful to have more patrol around the area.
Having more police downtown would be nice also at night. I know sometimes it gets a little rowdy at night, but our store isn't open that late. We're open until 6 p.m. So, it wouldn't really affect us that much, but just having the safety in the neighborhood would also be really nice.
The district said since these shootings tend to happen outside of businesses, people should stay away from the sidewalks around those areas, especially when it gets to that time of night. Neighbors are still in shock from the death of a 23-year-old Jefferson City man. People close to the family tell KOMU8 News the man was stabbed by his own nephew after a fight among the family. It happened Friday morning. When police responded, they say they found the man with stab wounds lying in a driveway off of Missouri Boulevard. Neighbors were in disbelief and say the family is crushed.
I love that boy. He's just like a son to me. He obeyed me. I tell him to do something. Okay. And that, I don't know what happened. Who could have done this to him?
The boy accused of stabbing his uncle is expected to be charged with armed criminal action and second-degree murder.
Coming up, Jefferson City officially inducts its newest face to the City Council.
Plus, why 4,000 Boone County residents could receive internet access in the near future.
And have you noticed the extra sunshine we've been getting? We now have about 13 and a half hours, and a month from now, we're going to already have another complete hour for 14 and a half hours by the time we head towards the end of our May. I'm going to be tracking our multiple chances for showers and thunderstorms and differing temperatures and wind. It's all coming up in the 8-day forecast.
Welcome back in Jefferson City. There's also some new faces on the City Council. Jack Deacon took the oath of office tonight to be the new 1st Ward City Council member. Aaron Weissman was reelected to the 3rd Ward seat. John Hensley, Ron Fitzwater, and Mike Lester all ran unopposed and were also sworn in. One of the women Deacon gave thanks to was Carol McDowell for working on his campaign.
If you do what I ask, you'll probably hate me, but you'll have a chance. And so there were a couple times I didn't like to see her homecoming come up, but yeah, thank you, Carol.
Deacon defeated Jacob Robinette in the municipal election on April 5th.
A federal grant is helping some Boone County residents get access to the internet. Socket is using $5 million in grant money from the National Telecommunications and Information Administration to expand its coverage. This expansion will help northern Boone County residents who have struggled with internet access. Boone County Commissioner Janet Thompson says she herself has had problems. That grant will help provide internet access to nearly 4,000 homes. Kenton.
Well, it's going to be a freezing night here in central Missouri.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Coming up, the latest on the ground in Ukraine, where Russian forces are aiming to attack next.
But first, those are your lottery numbers. Good luck. Welcome back. Ukraine is bracing for concentrated Russian attacks in the east as it prepares a new military assault. Russia gave the port city of Mariupol an ultimatum to, quote, surrender or die this weekend. Ukrainian forces didn't comply, and troops have been concealed to one large steel plant in the city. President Zelensky vows the nation will defend itself against this operation.
A federal judge in Florida has struck down the national mask mandate on planes, trains, and buses. This after a U.S. District Court judge said the mandate exceeded the authority of the CDC. The judge, appointed by former President Donald Trump, issued that order today without courtroom argument. The Justice Department declined immediate comment on whether it would seek to block the order and keep mask mandates in effect.
Coming up, after all of the additions to the Mizzou men's basketball team today, there's a defection. We'll tell you who's on the way out next in sports.
Another look at our day tomorrow. Temperatures starting off around freezing and then warming into the middle 50s. We're going to start off with that sunshine and then see cloud cover as the day goes along. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be a rainy day. The wind starts to pick up a little bit there too, but really it's just rain and some thunder maybe every now and then as well. Then temperatures on Thursday reaching into the 70s. We'll have 80s on Friday and mostly dry again during a lot of these days. It's in the overnights that we have some rain chances, especially as you head towards Saturday night into Sunday and then again all day Sunday.
I feel like every time I get online, there's something new about the Mizzou basketball team.
It's all a plot to drive up program sales and website hits. I mean, it was seriously, a year ago we were talking about 7, 8 new faces, and it's going to be that way again because it could still go on. There's nothing to say that somebody else couldn't decide to transfer and to get replaced between now and the start of the season.
Definitely a new game out there when it comes to college ball.
You're going to need to coach yourself up on who everybody is.
Okay. Thanks, Ben, and thank you for joining us.
We'll see you tomorrow.